Hey everybody, Homeslice Hunter here, and today's video, we're going to do something pretty fun. Today, I have picked up a booster pack of the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the newest release, the Stellar Crown. We're going to be opening it, and then using the cards that I get from this pack, I'm going to have to build a team in Pokemon Go Battle League and win at least 3 out of the 5 games, or I'm going to have to spin the Wheel of Punishment. Now, I'm not someone who has ever played the Pokemon trading card game, so I have no idea what potential Pokemon could be in this set. And obviously, the trading card game, Pokemon that are good there, obviously are not guaranteed to be good in Go. So I just have to go into it with an open mind and hope against hope that we're able to get some viable Pokemon. Pack, we had a Lapras, and then we have a Cinderace. Both are in Go, but we are just solely going to be going off of the actual Pokemon that are in these packs. Now, I don't know if there's a right side to open this on or something like that, but oh, it looks like we're okay. So we have a code card, so if anyone wants that, they can. And then, oh no, that is not a buildable Pokemon right off the bat. We have Varoom. Then we have Lileep. We have a lot of under evolutions here. Next we have Pawmi, Fletchling, Tornadus, Frogadier, Pangoro. Now this is a buildable Mon and a very good Mon. We have a Riolu. We have a Chinchou. We have a Noctowl. Okay, now that we have our team, let's actually put the team together. First off, we had Noctowl. I'm going to be running with Wing Attack, Sky Attack, and Nightshade. So Nightshade, it also does have Shadow Ball, but Nightshade was a very cool buff this season, but not a lot of Pokemon have it. So we're going to be testing on Nightshade Noctowl. For our second pick, we are going to be going with Pangoro. Pangoro, ever since it got Karate Chop, has been a deadly Pokemon this season. And the third, since we had a lot of first stage evolution Pokemon, and unfortunately Tornadus is not Great League eligible. I did a poll in my Discord, and they ended up voting on Credilli. So our third is going to be Credilli. So we do have a little bit of an ABB style team. We have 2 Pokemon in the back weak to fighting, and we have Noctowl, which is the flyer. So we're going to be hopping into a set of Go Battle League. And I have to go positive, or I'm going to have to spin the punishment wheel. And I'm really not looking forward to that. Let's take a look at our current ELO. We're sitting at 2937, so a little bit below the legend rank, but still doing pretty okay for ourselves. So we may have a little bit of cues here, but I'm very much looking forward to hopping into these battles and seeing what the team is going to be able to do. We got a game battle starting. Let's see who we got. Star-Lord. Okay. We are leading our Noctowl. We've got Noctowl into Drifblim. This is a pretty good lead for us. Astonish is going to be double resisted. We're going to see a switch out into Poliwrath. Oh my goodness. This opponent not prepared for the Noctowl at all. And since Nightshade is actually cheaper than Sky Attack, I'm going to get to fire off Nightshade here. Nightshade from the Noctowl is going to be shielded up. And our back Pokemon can honestly deal pretty decently with that Drifblim that was on the lead. So this is by no means bad. They're of course going to start spamming out Icy Winds, looking for debuffs. That's very okay. These wing attacks continue to add up. We make it to another Nightshade. And is the opponent willing to double shield in this matchup? Yes, they are going to double shield, but Poliwrath cannot farm down here. Poliwrath is going to be forced to throw energy. I'm in a little bit of a tricky position. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this go. I could have potentially shielded the Noctowl and just gone for switch advantage, but I think I'll go with Credilli here. In comes a Machamp, and Machamp is really not going to appreciate Grass Knot. Cross Chop will do a lot. I'm genuinely a little bit unsure if I can actually take that. So I think I can, but out of an abundance of caution, we're going to shield and we're going to fire off this Grass Knot. Grass Knot is going to do a lot of damage. Probably just going to KO the Machamp straight up. Grass Knot, Machamp barely hangs on but doesn't get the next move. If the opponent brings in the Drifblim, I am going to look to fire off a Rock Slide And then I can look to switch into Pangoro. Rockslide gonna hit for super effective damage. So that does quite a bit. We send in Pangoro, and now we just look to farm. They can debuff us, but I can overfarm quite a bit. And if they bring in the Poliwrath, I have a close combat. So this should just be a one game for me right off the bat. Icy Wind does a lot. There it is. In comes the Poliwrath. We get to fire off the close combat. The only worry would be with our debuff defense, will we potentially get Astonished down? I'm pretty sure the answer is no. So they bring in the Drifblim. Oh, that was way closer than I thought, but we're going to take it. We're going to take game number 1. This Night Slash will easily knock out that Drifblim, and we get a boost for the road as well. We've got a game number 2. We started off 1-0, so we're only 2 wins away from avoiding having to spin that punishment wheel. Noctowl on the lead into low kicks, another favorable lead. Wow. Honestly, I was not expecting this to go as well as it has. Low kicks, its energy should be walled here. They should be Trailblaze X Scissor, so they should be walled. Low kicks farming up a ton of energy. They're going to make a catch. Oh, they catch the Nightshade onto Diggersby. While that is unfortunate for me, we can take a moment here. I'm expecting it's going to be Toxapex as their final Pokemon, because that is typically the most common team, is people will run the Diggersby, and then they will also run the Toxapex in the back. So it's basically low kicks tries to win lead, but in this case it couldn't, so they're forced to switch out. We're going to full send to close combat. Opponent is going to commit the shield, but they overfarm. They let me get another close combat. They're going to have to give up 2 shields here if they want to preserve this Diggersby, and they're going to do just that. I'm -4. If I double shield, I'm very worried that I am just going to get comboed with energy from the low kicks. They have Hyper Beam on that Diggersby. My goodness. And now we bring in Cradily. Cradily farming up. I'm just going to go for the Grass Knot right away. Opponent makes a catch. There it is. It is the team we were expecting. It is going to be the Toxapex. But this honestly feels kind of okay, because Toxapex is only going to be hitting for neutral here. Rock Slide, not the greatest move anymore, but we'll still be able to spam out these Grass Knots. And these Grass Knots do add up quite a bit. So I'm going to be firing off another Grass Knot that felt like it was a CMP tie. So we're firing off the Grass Knot. That's going to land. And it is a CMP tie. This is a little bit of an interesting situation. I think I'm going to choose to let this go. It is the Sludge Wave that does quite a lot of damage. Ooh, game stuttering quite a bit there. That's unfortunate. We're going to fire off the Grass Knot, and then we're going to try and sweep this game with Noctowl. I'm going to switch in the Noctowl. Opponent is going to switch in the Diggersby. And this could get a little tricky, as I know they do have Hyper Beam. They're probably Hyper Beam Scorching Sand. So the question is, are they feeling brave enough to Scorching Sands bait? The answer is yes. They do Scorching Sands bait. They're firing off another move. And I believe I am fine to let this go. This should just be a Scorching Sands. Yeah, that is not enough for a Hyper Beam. However, I did get an attack drop. That's actually bad. That's actually not good. That attack drop actually might allow them to get another move here, which would be very unfortunate. If the Sky Attack is going to get them low, and they get another move. This will just be the Scorching Sands, but this is going to put me low. And it's to a point where I think they might honestly be able to win this game. It all comes down to what do they send in here. Do they bring in the low kicks? They do, but I call the switch out. I switch myself, and this is going to be a win. This is going to be a win, because we have a Sky Attack loaded and ready to go, and we're 2-0 with the Pack and Play team. I am shocked. I am genuinely shocked. I was not expecting a team with a Nightshade Noctowl on it to go as well as it has been, but my goodness, 2-0, and it feels incredibly good. We've got our battle starting in the next match, and it's Noctowl into Toxapex. This is honestly not an amazing lead for us by any means. Nightshade is so much of a better move than Sky Attack that even though it doesn't get the same type of attack bonus, I imagine Nightshade's probably the move to go for. So we'll click on Nightshade here and just see what my opponent wants to do. The most common pairing with Toxapex is people will oftentimes put Diggersby in the back. And if there's a Diggersby back there, my backline is very, very strong into Diggersby. So that would honestly work out very, very well for me. So I think trying to soft lose this and then get farm on Credilli could potentially work out. They are going to full send the Sludge Wave. That does massive, massive damage. And that is a little worrisome as I am very, very low on this Noctowl. I'm not sure if I can get the Nightshade before I get farmed down. If my opponent is able to farm down, that would be very, very unfortunate here, and they are. So I'm just forced to switch into the Credilli, and that's really not great. Again, I haven't really run Noctowl in many seasons, so that's going to be the unfamiliarity with the Pokemon, but that's part of the fun of the pack and play at the same time, is you run Pokemon that you normally wouldn't. In comes a Guzzlord. Okay. Well, Pangoro can do very well here. And I do have a catch. Unfortunately, I'm not quite at a move on the Noctowl, but I will have a catch available if I want it in the future. So I make the Rock Slide. Opponent is going to go for the CMP tie. And I think my best course of action is just to let this go. Just making sure the phone fan's on there, which it is. And now we're just going to bring in Pangoro and just look to get a bunch of energy. They will fire off a move. I'm going to be committing the shield, and I'm going to look to farm up here. Let's see if we can get a bunch of energy. They're just going to go for the Brutal Swing. Okay. We're going to farm all the way up to here and get a catch on the Noctowl. So we weren't able to get that last move on the Noctowl, but we're still able to get value out of it by making a catch. We save a bunch of energy on the Pangoro. In the back is going to be Diggersby. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be a win for us because my opponent has a pretty safe win con of just no shielding this first move because it doesn't quite knock out, and then I'm just too debuffed. And they can even let this go and just win the game with Toxapex. So we had a feeling of what the core was going to be, but unfortunately, the miscalculation in the early part of the game really ended up coming back to bite us. Here at the very least, I'm going to force one shield from my opponent, so I get a little bit of a moral victory here. This game's not going to end in victory for me, but I get a little bit of a moral victory, and that shows part of why Pokemon like Noctowl are not played commonly at the moment, because that neutral matchup at Toxapex was extremely, extremely poor for the Noctowl. Alright, we're 2-1. So we're just needing to win one of the next 2 games so we can have our first episode of Pack and Play end in victory. We got a Q. It's our 4th opponent. Let's see. Axel Mayer 23. Okay. We've got our Noctowl on the lead, and it's into a Kanto Marowak. So this should be an okay lead for us. Our entire team does pretty okay against Mudslappers. We're going to see a safe switch into the Dugong, and since we switch fast enough, we can actually just go straight close combat in this matchup. We don't even have to bait, and we're going to be able to win all even shield scenarios. And this is where the just lightning fast speed of Pangoro is amazing. We land the close combat through 2 shields, and that is terrific for us. We're farming up a ton of energy here. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get double Night Slash, so I'm just going to settle for a close combat. This will do a lot of damage to my opponent. Close combat, they're going to shield it up, so they do want to protect the Marowak. And now I get to bring back in the Noctowl. Rock Slide is not the greatest move ever, and they're not the Shadow Marowak, so I should tank this Rock Slide surprisingly well. Rock Slide is going to connect, doesn't even do half. Oh no, but it's a Bastiodon in the back. And this is very bad for me. This is very bad for me. Oh my goodness. I'm forced to bring in Credilli, but Credilli does not do well. The good news is at the start of the season, Bastiodon did get nerfed, which means that Bastiodon just does not have the damage output from SmackDown that it once did. So I am going to fire off the Grass Knot. Opponent is going to play to the CMP tie, and I really need to protect this Credilli, as this Credilli is the main way that I can actually damage this Pokemon. So I'm going to shield, and unfortunately for me, they're pretty close to another Stone Edge, so I'm going to be forced to start giving up shields in this matchup. I continue the farm with the Credilli. Opponent has the move here. Instead, they're going to overfarm quite a bit. I'm going to go for a Grass Knot. And this will be an interesting end game. Because this Grass Knot will do a decent amount. It looks like the next one will get them pretty close to KO'd. Ooh. Do I risk it? I think I'm just going to let this go. We're going to do one. We're going to wait the turn. Now we're going to go for the Nightshade. So we have a Grass Knot banked for later. We have a shield. We're going to go for a Nightshade plus farm down play. Ooh, I don't know if we're going to get a farm down. This could get problematic for us. I'm going to shield. It is going to be the Rock Slide from the Marowak. Can we get this farm down? I think the answer is no. I'm going to go for a 0 bubble here, though. Because I do want to get a little bit more energy on the Noctowl in exchange for taking no damage, because that Mud Slap won't land. And then I just have to make the Nightshade. If we can make the Nightshade, which we can, we're going to get the win here. That is awesome. Let's go. We were pretty weak to the Bastiodon once our boy was out of the way. But we get the win here because we have the Grass Knot banked. We win the CMP tie over the Bastiodon. And our first pack in play will end in victory. They baited out Pangoro. All hope was lost. But thanks to a very precise undercharge there, 0 bubbling it to get 1 extra wing attack but take no more damage, we're able to take the win. And look at that, we're 3-1 at 29-37 with a team of Nightshade Noctowl, Cradily, and Karate Chop Pangoro. The good news for me is that the punishment wheel is off the table. So I won't have to worry about doing any kind of a very unfun punishment. We were able to go positive. Now the question is, how positive can we go? We're 3-1, so even if we lose the next one, our challenge is still complete. But getting a 4-1 with this team would be pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. And there it is, right on cue. We do get a game. Okay, it's against Silver X10. Let's see what they're running. Noctowl into Togetic. This is actually a core breaker for us. This is not a good spot for us to be because Togetic has access to Ancient Power. And Ancient Power can hit us for super effective damage. So, the fact that they're running Togetic, I did pretty recently make a video on a Togetic team. So it is possible that they are running Togetic as a result of that video. The Nightshade is going to land. Let me find out after editing that Sky Attack is actually the better move to go for, and I've just been playing it wrong the whole time. It's definitely possible, but I hope that's not the case. Okay, they're firing off another move. My hope is that I can make another Nightshade. Because obviously I can't really have Pangoro anywhere near this Togetic. Togetic is going to... Oh, they get a boost! That's really not good. I think I just have to let the Noctowl go at this point. I made a Sky Attack. I'll fire that off. But since they boosted, I think they're going to be shielding. They actually don't shield. That works out a little better for me. Okay. They're going to throw right away. We will get the Bullet Seed through. Bullet Seed is going to be resisted here, but they're boosted. So I might actually get another Bullet Seed after this. They go for an Ancient Power, and I will get one more Bullet Seed. That is pretty nice. Let's see what they have. They have Forretress. So they are actually running the team that I featured. I think if they are, then the back line will be Feraligatr. And in that case, then this will actually be pretty good for me overall because Pangoro does very well into it. They're going to Rock Tomb, and then I think it's time. I think we're going to throw one more Rock Slide, and then it's going to be Pangoro time. Rock Slide, it's debuffed. It's not going to do a lot. They're not going to be shielding this, but we're just going to have to trust in the 2 shielded Panda here. We switch into Pangoro. And now it's Pangoro's moment to shine. There's Feraligatr. This is the non-Shadow Feraligatr, which means that they can actually survive a close combat. As Pangoro, since you resist Shadow Claw, you can go straight close combat in this matchup. So I'm able to inflict some serious damage to that Feraligatr. However, debuffing myself might leave me in a potentially vulnerable spot to getting farmed down by Volt Switch. So this will be an interesting end game for sure. I'm actually, the fortress is pretty low. I think I'm just okay here. Night Slash is going to be shielded. I would love an ability to switch out. They're going to throw, which is smart. They're taking advantage of the fact that I can't switch out just yet. So I think what I'll do is I'll throw 1 and the Night Slash. I'm debuffed, but they're very low. And then I'll throw 1 and I'll switch. Because my fast move is 2 turns and theirs is 4. Then this means that their Volt Switch will actually... Oh, you know what? They let it go. So we get a 4-1 with our pack and play team. You love to see it. And now I get to hit this lovely check mark and we get to see the 4-1 set at 29.37. Can't ask for much of a better start than that. And now we get to claim these rewards here. We get a Phalanx, okay. I throw the worst throw ever. And we climb up to 29.80. Okay. Honestly, for making a team out of a pack of cards, that team helped me win quite a bit. So I would like to give a big thank you to the Stellar Crown Scarlet and Violet set, because that team ended up giving me a 4-1 set. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching more Slice Henry. This is my second channel. I am, of course, Home Slice Henry. If you enjoy content like this, my goal is I'm going to be uploading at least once per week on this channel. So make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.